Okay, next one. What KPIs we should set for finance and accounting department in order to meet company goals of increasing sales?
Okay, good question. The sample finance department, depending on your company finance role here, some finance also involved in purchasing. So that's why finance also to ensure the cash flow. If you talk about CFO, right? CFO is to ensure cash flow. For example, your target is to have a 6-month cash flow reserve. So if the company have a cash flow issue, the finance should be able to get the financing from the bank and so on. And then the finance also need to plan the payment term with the customer. And also the payment term with the supplier. So what kind of supplier you have, and so quality of the supplier, including the margin, that you are getting in. So these are the important KPI for the finance department. Okay, profitability also. Thank you.
Okay, next. Yeah. All right. What is KPI for HR department? Okay.
HR department, usually I will recommend them. The first KPI is KPI management. So meaning that you implement KPI, you have to make sure the KPI implementation is successful first. Secondly, depending on your recruitment, whether your recruitment you have the kind of volume. If volume, then you should have a recruitment on time. And then training, for example, training effectiveness to increase the competency level of all the employees. That is also one of the KPI. So for SME, these are the few KPIs that you should focus. Not so focused, not much into the administrative, but more into driving the company's performance. Because by improving the employees' competency level, you are helping the company to grow. Okay, thank you.
Okay, next one. How do you measure customer response time?
How do we measure customer response time? For example, this one you need to have SLA. SLA stands for Service Level Agreement. For example, if depending on what kind of business you have, depending on which department, if you're talking about a customer service department, then you need to have SLA. So, for example, you have a serious matter, you need to respond within 1 hour or 2 hours, for the serious matter. So for those second level request, maybe within 1 working day. Maybe third level request within one working week, something like that. So you have that kind of definition.
Okay. Another question. What KPI should we set for admin or some department? Is it that is difficult to measure?
Yeah, for admin, very simple. You just need to have one KPI. If the person is doing admin work, I would recommend that you just have one KPI called quality and efficiency. Okay, quality and efficiency of work, just one. And then that is the one you should not be nitty-gritty, because admin, you just need to make sure the person not making a lot of mistake. Also always complete the documentation or submission or statutory on time. Just one KPI will do, right? So don't make it so complicated. Thank you.
E-commerce industry and managing 10 stores in Shopee and Lazada and receive 600 chats per day. How can I do a KPI for this?
So they also have a Lazada and Shopee. Is it they're selling things online? Selling a lot of things. So they also need to track all the response time. Very important for them, because their KPI will be such as the rating on the Lazada, the feedback from the buyers, Lazada and Shopee. So those are the KPI, the rating. Because if your rating is low, you affect your sales in the future. And also you need to also control your stock. You need to make sure you have enough stock to sell. If you need to look at those hot selling items, you need to equip enough hot selling item so that your stock control is. You also need to manage your cash flow. You import enough stock to sell those items, and you need to make sure you package it correctly and deliver on time. Make sure you don't make mistake, in terms of delivery. The product, you don't mix up with the wrong product when you're packaging it. So these are some of the important KPI. Response time also very, very important. So this affects your rating. It also affects your future business growth. Thank you.
Okay. Next one. Yeah. If you set 3 KPIs for each staff, if they complete the KPI within certain period of time, can we add on another KPI and retain the KPI that the staff completed?
Okay, KPI, depending on what kind of KPI you have, yes, you can do a revision, but you need to have a communication with the staff. You need to set expectation. KPI is about communication tool, is it? So KPI allows you to communicate with the staff on your expectation, and also staff will know how they can perform, is it? So you need to understand why you keep changing or you keep adding KPI. You have to be very, very clear, objective of doing that. Usually we don't change KPI much, is it? So KPI, for example, if you want to have a good customer service, customer response time, so this is a yearly KPI. Unless your staff is doing different things every month, such as a project base, you see, so can be a different KPI, but you need to give a good reason to your staff. Thank you.
Okay, next one. How do you set KPIs for PR staff and graphic designers?
Okay, we talk about graphic designer, right? So designer, we also have interior design companies. We have quite a number of design company also. So usually design, we talk about quality. When you talk about quality, it is very, very subjective, right? So what we do is we recommend to have let's say division of the design. So first KPI is the quality measured by division. For example, if you allow 3 revision, so if all the customer have more than 5 revision, that means it's something wrong with your quality already. Cannot be all the customer are wrong one, you see. So we can measure by quality. Second one is the delivery timeline. You need to design your, for example, your video, or maybe your graphic design. You need to deliver on time. So these 2 are the very important KPI. Thank you.